We are very, very happy to have His Excellency Bandar bin Mohammed Hamza Hajjar already on the line. He's the president of the Islamic Development Bank. And from what we understand is that the Sharia banking, with the criteria that you put into play, is extremely compatible with the sustainable development and therefore also, let's say, a thinker ahead of your time in the area of sustainable finance. Dr. Hajjar, please take it away. We're looking forward to your speech.
Thank you. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning, afternoon, evening to everyone. Allow me first to thank Foundation F20 and Her Highness Princess Basma of the King Khalid Foundation for giving me the privilege to attending this important event. Since I was appointed the president of the Islamic Development Bank in 2016, I have become more convinced that development can only be achieved by bringing together traditional development actors and other development players, including civil societies and philanthropists. So it is therefore my pleasure to attend this first day of the F20 Climate Solution Week, whose outcome will be presented to the G20 leaders in the few weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, for the sake of time, I will be highlighting three key messages. As the title of our session suggests, a $3.1 trillion financing gap to achieve the SDG was already huge and has exceeded the resources provided by traditional development financiers before the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, the gap has grown wider as priority and had shifted to saving lives and livelihoods. To solve this and promote sustainable green recovery and growth in developing countries, we need a real transformation of the way we conduct development business. This is what ISDB has done by undertaking a shift to making markets work for development and transformation from development bank to a bank of development and developers. That shift will be the focus of my second message. Indeed, official development assistance alone will not be enough. And developing countries cannot reach the 2030 SDG target by themselves. So our calculations today show that total investment in developing countries stand at $1.4 trillion per year, which leaves an annual investment gap in sectors critical to SDG for around $3.1 trillion. For the ISDB, 57 member countries, this translates into $1 trillion annual funding gap, which is far greater than the 135 billion worth of available annual official development assistance, ODA, funding. This means that for every $1 of ODA, development community needs to mobilize $23 from yet untapped resources. The ISDB is working on transforming development project into asset eligible for investment. And this is what we call making market work for development. By preparing bankable project and providing the right guarantees, and we aim to tap into new sources from the market to support development in our member countries. Needless to mention the importance of aligning this investment with the need of the fourth industrial revolution, which is set high expectation on productivity level and require mainstreaming of G20 infrastructure tech agenda and development project. Philanthropists and foundation have indeed great role to play. Our expectation, successful Life and Livelihood Fund, LLF, with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and first of its kind Global Muslim Philanthropy Fund for Children with UNICEF, using social finance from philanthropic resources and other initiatives. We are undertaking have all proved that we can join forces to support SDG. We believe that we should transform public-private partnership to what I call 5 Ps, or public-private philanthropic people partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, financing, however, is not enough. This brings us to my third and last message. We also need to transfer knowledge, build capacity, and make know-how move between emerging developing countries and developing countries to support their socio-economic growth. For this purpose, we are transforming into a bank for development and developers, building on our expertise in South-South and triangular cooperation, and we have realized that technical assistance is an impactful instrument to foster development in our member countries, using our unique model of reverse linkage. We are able to catalyze knowledge and experience of different institutions. Moreover, our 45 years of development have revealed that most fragile community should not be seen as a client or recipient aid, but rather real partners, something that we can't miss if we focus only on financing. We have developed an economic empowerment approach where Islamic finance instruments are part of more holistic solution that integrate our partner in a pre-identified high potential value chain. And we have also launched a program for capacity building to the civil society organization and humanitarian sector. Let me conclude by saying that our objective has shifted from merely providing financing rather building inclusion and restoring dignity. And I would like to emphasize on one very important fact that money is not a problem. We have $218 trillion in the global capital market. Mm-hmm. The question how we are going to attract this to our needed and to achieve SDG, this is the challenge. How we are going to engage the private sector to close this 1 trillion gap in this, how we are going to do smart industrialization to catch up with the fourth industrial revolution, how we are going to build inclusive economy to observe 10 million new job market entrant. These are the questions. Thank you so much, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum to you, Dr. Hajjar. Very briefly, Stefan, the one thing that struck you in the speech, maybe you would like to sort of ask Dr. Hajjar a question.
But first, Dr. Bandar Hajjar, I'd like to extend my gratitude for being with us and for representing a very important multilateral development bank, the Islamic Development Bank. We know the hugely important work that you are doing. And particularly, I think that there is a special attention on principles of Sharia banking, for example, with regard to the implementation of the SDGs. And I think this is really important. So one very short question to the very important points that you made, mentioning the 5 Ps. I guess this is a thing that we take home, that we see as a take-home message, that one of the Ps is definitely the philanthropy. So what would you really see as the philanthropist's role in the endeavor to really implement the SDGs?
In fact, as I mentioned, the ISDB is adapting a new business model that focusing on playing the role of catalyst for development, transforming the bank from a on-balance sheet funding provider to development enabler and investment facilitator. This shift needs these 5 Ps, and one of them is philanthropist. And we are now building this model because the philanthropists play a vital role, especially when we talk about endowment, when we talk about education and health and social sectors. The challenges facing our member countries, especially developing countries, are huge, and it is beyond the capacity of any individual institutions. So to address these challenges, no one can address it by itself, rather private sector or the philanthropists, but what they really, or the MDBs, but what they really, the philanthropists need, they need the enabling environment in these countries so that they can really play this role. And this is what we think which is a part of our duty and mandate, is how to help our member countries to create this enabling environment in order to enable those philanthropists to play their role in the development. And also want to ensure that everyone in the society play a role in the development. And this is very important.
Thank you so much for that explanation, for the deep dive that you added. And the enabling environment is something that we probably have as an issue in the next couple of keynotes and their commentaries.